Hello there, people, place, things, and other things. If you don't like video games or you're not interested in the PlayStation 4, Xbox One Clash, then this video is probably not going to be very interesting for you. The Xbox One was going to have it, so you really couldn't use used games. You couldn't share games. A game could be shared once, and then license of the game would belong to that console. So the first console gets the license, you lend it to another console, that console gets the license, and it's with that console until the end of days. And you had check-in online every 24 hours, so Microsoft can make sure you're not messing around. And you had to be online. You really couldn't play games offline. If you didn't log on every 24 hours, your console basically became useless. Let's see, what else? Oh, automatic download of games. Every game had to be mandatorily installed. And then PlayStation came out and was kind of like, nope, you can share games, no, you don't need internet, you don't even have to, no, it's cool guys, don't worry about it. And Microsoft, it was like Microsoft was fed information by Sony, like some guy came from Sony, like he was defecting from Sony to Microsoft, and he's like, okay, Sony's gonna do this whole thing where they're gonna make it so you have to pay for used games. Like basically, if someone shares a game, you can't share games, so everyone has to buy games. You have to be online all the time. Every game must be like installed and all this other stuff. It has to be all the time. And Microsoft was like, wow, well, if they're gonna do it, we should do it too, because that's a great idea, right? And then they come out and they're like, hey guys, check this out. Xbox One, we're pretty cool, right? And then, and that was they were like the earlier conference in E3, and I actually watched some of it, and it did seem kind of interesting. But then I saw PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 4 just comes out, and it's just like, nope, and like just completely everything that was wrong with the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 didn't have, and it was like, whoa! It was like mind-blowing. And I love PlayStation. I own a 360 right now. I had PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, jumped to 360 because it was out earlier and it was cheaper, and then now I'm probably going to jump back to PS4. But it was just so mind-boggling that Microsoft thought all of these policies were going to be good. Oh, and then, of course, the Microsoft is also, the Xbox One is also $100 more expensive than the PlayStation 4. Like, that's even more of a problem. But today, the Xbox One has changed its name to the Xbox 180. Zing! Because used games, you can share games now. You don't have to be online all the time. You don't have to mandatorily install every game. The only time you have to be online is to set up the console. After that, you don't have to be online ever if you don't want to be. And it's just it's so funny. It is so good. It is so good. And it's also bad company practices. Like, I thought, I didn't agree with the Microsoft things at all. I thought it was stupid, but they were standing their ground on E3. Like, they even came out and said some of the most asinine things I've ever heard. Like, a reporter was like, so what do you say to people that don't have internet or don't have internet always readily available for your Xbox One? And the guy goes, well, we have an offline console. It's called the 360. It was like that guy was just giving the middle finger to everyone that was complaining about the Xbox One. Was like, screw you. Screw all of you. You guys can just suck it. And it was like, okay, I was like, I don't agree with anything they're doing, but they are standing their ground on this stuff. And it's like, I guess from a company standpoint, it shows big balls. But then today, they totally spun around, totally just changed everything. And on company practices, that is pretty bad. I mean, say what you will, that yes, they realized their mistakes and changed it. But after so many months, I mean, this has been months, basically, of this stuff kind of been festering in our mind, and people getting upset about it. Months, they go, and they even go to E3, the biggest gaming conference in probably the world. Like, it's the one thing. That's where consoles are pretty much, like, unveiled. That's where consoles are, like, really, like, that's when people, like, we heard about the PlayStation 4, we heard about the Xbox One, but we didn't really get to see these things for what they were until E3. They go to E3, the biggest gaming conference in the world, and just totally blow it. They totally blow it. And then the week after, they go, man, we really screwed up. Well, let's change. Yeah, they realize their mistakes, but oh man, it just puts a bad taste in my mouth still that they would make all these mistakes. They basically say screw you to everyone that's complaining about it, and then go, we screwed up. I mean, yes, it's great that they've changed their mind. It will not make me get an Xbox One because the way they treated gamers throughout that whole thing, the way they treated their clients, the way they treated their customers was so unfathomably rude. Like, people at E3 that worked for Microsoft were basically just like, screw you to all the haters. If you don't like the online connection all the time, if you want to share used games, screw you, buy a 360 and just get out of my way. That's like if you go to Burger King and you go, hey, listen, I don't like ketchup on my burgers. And the guy that works there goes, well, you can just get the hell out. Like, that's exactly what Microsoft was doing. It was like they never even understood public relations. They didn't even understand the public. It was unfathomably mishandled. It was one of the worst conferences. After their opening, it was like their opening, they started off, and you know, it was fine. After the Microsoft thing though, after the Sony thing, they completely fell apart. The guys didn't know what they were doing. They were running around like chickens with their heads cut off. If you like Microsoft, that's great. I mean, I like my 360. My 360 is a lot of fun. I like Halo. That's a great game. Series. But it's not enough to make me go to a company that would just so actively mistreat its customers. And if you like Xbox One, that's great. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't have it. I'm not saying it's a crappy console. I'm just saying that I cannot, in good conscience, buy a machine from a company that just treats me like crap. And it was like Sony came out and they knew exactly what their clients wanted. They knew exactly what their customers wanted, and that's what they gave them. It was like Microsoft didn't even know what their customers wanted, and it took them months to figure it out. Because I think they announced the Xbox One a little ways back. It's been a while now. And they had this stuff pooling in their mind, and they basically must have been thinking for that entire time that either A, there was going to be no backlash on this, or B, people could just suck it up. And I'm leaning towards B. But it's great that the used games are now a thing on the Xbox One. It's great that you don't have to be always online. All of these things are great. But it does not in any way make up for the way they treated their customers throughout E3. It does not make up in any way what the people said in interviews. It does not make up for how rude some of them were. Now, if you like my Xbox One, please go get it. I hope it's a great console. It's better now, but I'm going PlayStation 4. Xbox 180 and PlayStation 4 aside for a second. I'm toying with an idea here. First of all, I decided that the 50 Shades of Grey reading, I'm going to split into seasons. And season 1 is going to go 15 episodes, and right now I think I have 12 episodes out. After I get the 15th episode done, which might be a live thing, because my YouTube account has now had the opportunity in a few days or maybe a few weeks to do live videos, and I'm thinking of doing the last reading live. It might be awful, because like those videos are edited because I'm just reading this book, and they're also edited because not all my jokes are very funny. But I was toying with the idea of doing the last one live. Let me know what you guys think about that. But then there's another series I'm interested in doing. I just kind of thought about it when I was going to sleep last night, and it could very well just crash and burn and not be a good idea. That's why I'm asking you guys about it. I was thinking about doing just a short series, maybe 6 episodes, maybe a little more than that. Just of a guy vlogging during kind of a zombie apocalypse. Now, I know that sounds really dumb, but just kind of like maybe documenting like the mental deterioration that would take place during a zombie apocalypse of some sorts, and just kind of like having each video be like one day, like one day's vlog. Like I'd start on day 3 and then go day 37, day 100 or whatever. But I just thought the idea sounded kind of interesting. I mean, it had to be low budget spent time. I don't really have a lot of actors readily available, and I don't have the money to like put on a whole thing like a zombie thing. But I have some really cool ideas for it, and it would give me a chance to kind of do more serious stuff because I love being comedic, but I also want to show that I can do dramatic stuff. Like I say, this is just a very, very rough idea right now. I don't know if this is what's going to happen. But I just wanted to get your guys' idea on that, thoughts on that, excuse me, and just let me know what you guys thought, and if you guys would want to see anything like that, let me know. Okay, now, have a great day, and go on Musan. Bye!